wanted to say good evening to my neighbors here and co-creators. I think as a group, we are all co-creators together, and we make the space. Oh, thank you. We make the space that we live in, and we make this place possible, all together. And we converse with each other, we argue with each other, we disagree, we agree, but we create. And we create both at Menlo Park, and we create regionally. And I'm really, thank you so much to our neighbors from East Palo Alto and Palo Alto, and Mark Berman for being here tonight, and Maya with the county for being here, and just, being one. I have to say, I pinch myself every morning that I wake up here in Menlo Park, because we are such blessed people. And if you look around this room tonight and you look at each other and you see each other, we're really fortunate people. And sometimes maybe we forget that a little bit, but we are really fortunate. And I love living here. I just love it. And even if we disagree on items and we have late council meetings and we, talk about Caltrain and don't agree, it's because we care about where we are. And I recognize that when all of you come to city council meetings and you speak as well, and you speak your mind, and you tell us how you're feeling. And I want you to do that. I think we all want you to do that. And we all care about what you have to say. And that's what makes this place so vibrant and interesting and fun. So I really appreciate that. It's been a privilege to serve as mayor again this year. As I said, I was elected in 2010, served as mayor in 2012, and now again. And it's always a pleasure to serve as mayor. I'm honored and humbled to serve as the mayor of Menlo Park, and just thankful for my colleagues on the council and all the commissioners. And tonight is really about coming together, and we picked a small space so that you can all rub shoulders. You can all be tight and be together. And we're reflecting on our progress, and we're looking forward to what's ahead. And without a doubt, this is a very exciting time for Menlo Park. And some of you can see, our screen doesn't go any higher, but we've put a bunch of photos up from the year so that you could see them, and we'll keep them scrolling. And it just reminds us of all the things that we've done. And this is not all of the things. This is a portion of the things that we've done, because we've done a lot. It's been a busy year. So I want to welcome you to the British Bankers Club. And I want to thank the owner, Rob Fisher, and his staff for making this event possible tonight. So thank you to the staff here. We are so excited to have this restaurant here in Menlo Park, and thank you for hosting us. Yes, we are here tonight at a moment when our attention and our concerns must extend beyond our city's boundary. We are a very welcoming city, and we embrace our residents for who they are, where they come from. Regardless of where you come from, what your religion is, what your orientation is, it matters not. We are a welcoming city, and it's my desire to always be a welcoming city. This year has really been about finding remedies and implementing solutions for our city. When I was elected mayor, I called for an emphasis on crafting regional solutions for traffic congestion. I think we all know what I'm talking about. I also called for an emphasis on addressing displacement and affordable housing. And additionally, my colleagues and I have set lofty and what I believe to be attainable goals under the City Council work plan, which we also modified sometimes, much to the chagrin of the staff. So thank you, Menlo Park staff, for hanging in there with us when we do that. Together, we are finding ways to ensure a lasting legacy as a community that's known for great schools and great institutions, cohesive neighborhoods, a thriving downtown, and for being a safe place to live. I'm proud of what we have achieved together, and we all benefit when the community works together. As a result, Menlo Park continues to be a leader in technology and innovation. I'm honored to work with an outstanding team of residents, and as I like to call you, co-creators, because that's what we are. We're co-creators of our space here. And you tirelessly volunteer with us, and I appreciate that. And all of our commissioners who tirelessly volunteer. I know last night I was at a housing commission meeting and saw other commissioners on the campus for other commission meetings. There's always a meeting in Menlo Park. Also, for the city staff who are here tonight, please stand up and raise your hand so we can recognize you. Thank you for the incredible work you all do. Every January, the council works with staff and the community to lay out our coming year's important work plan and our projects. Our work plans tend to be ambitious and challenging, and we often have projects that are left over from the year before, and we tend to never get through all of our work plan. But thanks to a team of hardworking employees, we have made great progress on many of the important projects to make our city better. One of the main focuses this year has been to enhance the bicycle and pedestrian experience that you all have and see in town through improved accessibility and safety throughout the city. We are embarking on a major effort over the next 18 months now to prepare a transportation master plan. And I see many of you in the room tonight who are going to be working on that with me. Long hours, lots of meetings, and I look forward to all that. When completed, our plan will provide a detailed vision, set goals and performance metrics for network performance, and outline a strategy for both improvements to be implemented locally and local contributions towards regional improvements. So I put a lot of slides up for you to see. Here's some right here. Our Oak Grove Safe Routes to School, very important. My colleagues on City Council and I approved an effort to study and design a tunnel for the pedestrian and bicyclist to safely go under the Caltrain tracks at Middle Avenue. And the project intends to give pedestrians and bicyclists better access to downtown from Burgess Park and for students to get to and from school. And so we're always looking to try and improve our east-west connectivity across El Camino for everybody. And I know some of you think, well, I don't want to ride a bicycle. Why is she making me do that? I am not, I promise you. But the more people that we can offer that opportunity to, the more you can drive your car. And it all works out. So work officially began on a project to rebuild the Willow Road and the US 101 interchange, and I'm sure many of you have seen that too. This has been something for a decade in the works. It's a Caltrans project, and it's expected to take 2 years to complete. And it was funded with Measure A money and also San Mateo County Transit Authority money, and we are very thankful for that help. The new interchange will have widened off-ramps and dedicated bike lanes and sidewalks so that people can safely get across. Because as you know right now, if you try, before the construction started, it's very hard to maneuver that and bike over the interchange. We've expanded midday shuttle programs, and we have both routes that we have will continue to be free and open to all. So our shuttle routes, as you know, are all free and open to everybody. You've noticed that we have the Santa Cruz Avenue Street Cafe program, and I put a slide up of that with 7 new street cafes that have enhanced the downtown experience. We have such great weather here that it's so important to be able to sit outside. People want to do that, just like when you stroll in other communities where you can eat outside. And so now you have a lot of opportunities to do that here in Menlo Park. Our excited business owners have already furnished their spaces and are making plans for custom features that you can see out there now. We also approved Haven Avenue has green striping in the high bike vehicle interaction areas, which helps increase bicycle awareness. We improved and installed, as you saw a little bit earlier, the Oak Grove Bicycle Boulevard, and that's been fabulous. It's a trial for a year, and so I would appreciate, I think all of us on council would love your feedback. You can always write into us at City Council inbox, and we do read your emails. And so please write in, whether you support it or you don't. We'd love to hear from you and know what you think. And as you know, we do have trials in this town because we just had a trial of the PopUp Park. And I've already received a few thanks tonight for removing that. So, no. So, they're trials. We did this whole specific plan together, and it took about 5 years to put that together, and this was one of the things that was in the trial. We tried it. It's gone. We'll move on. We'll have other opportunities to do more things. The bus shelters that we are installing in Bellhaven, we've done that. There's a shelter along the Samtrans Route 281 at Marketplace Park on Marketplace near Alpine Avenue, and this is helpful for our students. We also have a new San Mateo County Park shuttle. So if you want to go to the San Mateo County Parks, you can actually take a shuttle from Menlo Park and get to the San Mateo County Parks. And that's a great new benefit from the county. And as we do every other year, we kicked off a $4 million street resurfacing project. And this year, we're reconstructing or resurfacing 33 street sections throughout the city. So the other big theme, as you might be able to guess, would be what? Housing. You were so quiet. Yes, housing. Housing is another big theme this year. And according to the California Housing Consortium, the benefits of affordable housing can be divided into 3 broad categories: education, health, and economic activity. So, in May, the Daily Post reported that Menlo Park is the leading housing provider in the past year, making up about 3/4 of San Mateo County's new housing. Right? I just want to let that sink in. We built 3/4 of the new housing in San Mateo County last year. That's pretty amazing. Something to really celebrate. So thank you to my colleagues. I also see Chuck Kinney, former mayor, here. So one clap for Chuck Kinney. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Now, the Housing Leadership Council of San Mateo County recently praised the city of Menlo Park as the gold standard in the county for affordable housing incentives. So that's another thing we can be really proud of. Yeah. The nonprofit Housing Leadership Council of San Mateo County released an assessment of the affordable housing situation from data from a Nexus study of county jurisdictions in 2015. And so we came up as the gold standard. I don't know if Jack Morris is here tonight, but I want to thank him. Back in 1988, he and his council colleagues started the fund for below market rate housing. And they were the first in the county to do so. So Menlo Park was ahead of its time in doing that. Is Jack Morris here? I don't think I see him, but thank you, Jack, wherever you are. So in the area of housing, I'm happy to report that we have a 90-unit affordable senior housing development by Mid-Penn Housing at 1222 Willow Road, and that's been completed and it's already occupied. And we assisted with that with $3.2 million in funding from the city's below market rate housing fund that I was talking about earlier. Now, to minimize displacement and to foster stability for landlord and tenant relationships, because if you think about Menlo Park, those of you who own a house, we have a lot of apartments here, a lot of apartments. And sometimes people forget how many apartment dwellers we have, but we have a lot. The city council unanimously approved a 12-month lease ordinance. The ordinance provides current and prospective tenants a 1-year lease option for multifamily rental units. And one other thing that I would like to see next year is a mandatory mediation ordinance. I would love to see that adopted next year. And they've been used in Mountain View and other neighboring cities. And it's been a proven way to keep families in their homes by providing mandatory mediation. So the landlord and the tenant need to meet. And usually people are able to resolve issues. So it's very beneficial. One of the city's newest apartment complexes that maybe many of you have seen is Anton Menlo at 3639 Haven Avenue. Has anybody seen that on Haven Avenue or know about it? Okay, not very many. If you live in West Menlo on this side, you might not have noticed, but if you're going on 101 and at Marsh Road, you could take Marsh over 101 and turn left on Haven, and we have hundreds of new apartments there, hundreds. The last time I talked to the developer, I hear they're about 40, that's right, 40% leased, is that right? 40% leased right now, yes, and leasing very quickly. So one of the city's newest apartment complex, I just mentioned Anton, and then we also have hundreds of new units on Hamilton Avenue as well, right by Facebook. Earlier this summer, we approved up to $6.7 million in affordable housing funds for our Mid-Penn housing redevelopment on the 1300 block of Willow Road, so we'll be building more affordable housing there. Hello Housing is administering a workforce housing pilot program, which will subsidize rent for 22 units of workforce housing. And what that means is teachers and other community servicing people. So that's another good thing that I don't know if everybody knows about, but that's a really positive step too. The apartments are located at 777 Hamilton Avenue. And so then you can see there's our gymnastics center. The photos are just scrolling through at all the good things that we have going on here in Menlo Park. And it's pretty amazing. We are a city that continues to grow. From breaking ground on the development at 1300 El Camino Real to the Facebook Willow Campus. And we welcome Menlo Gateway, which is a new office. You've seen that go up at Marsh and 101. That's office and a hotel and the parking garage. That was on the ballot, let's see, back in 2010. That's right. I was running then, I remember that. And it was on the ballot and it passed, and here we are today. You still can't use it, but it will be available next year. So that was 8 years. But we welcome them. And we welcome Station 1300, the Greenheart Land Company, to redeveloping a 6.4 acre site on El Camino Real and Oak Grove Avenue with about 420 square feet of residential, office, and retail space. And there's a groundbreaking photo with my colleagues. We were very happy to break ground on that project too. So many of you over the years have come to me and to my colleagues and said, ARG, El Camino Real, I'm looking at you. And, I feel the same way. And I'm glad that we got the specific plan passed and we were able to get some development going on there now. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. We also see the redevelopment of a 61-room, 4-story boutique hotel. The boutique hotel is going to be wonderful, and it's on a half acre, which is amazing. It's amazing how many rooms they got on that half acre. It'll be beautiful and have a lovely restaurant and bar for you to come and for Menlo Park, for all residents, for everybody. So we've been doing a lot. At the Onetta Harris Community Center, you can be welcomed by new landscaping at the entryway and the refurbished combined classrooms. We also took out the grass and we put in trees and landscaping instead of grass so that we can be more sustainable. In June, Facebook unveiled their plans for the Willow Campus, which is a mixed-use development that includes new office, retail space, and how many of you know how many housing units? Anybody? Shout it out. 1,500. Yeah, that's right. So, and it has a 15% BMR designation. So that will be 225 apartments for BMR, which is fabulous. We're excited about that too. All of these apartments will be open to the public. These are public accessible apartments for anybody. And they are not restricted to Facebook employees. And most important to the community are the plans to include the grocery store, the pharmacy, the parks, the plazas. It's really going to be a new destination place in Menlo Park that you're going to want to go to, and it'll be very exciting. On the sustainability front, we joined the Mayors for 100% clean energy with the Sierra Club's Ready for 100 campaign, and we have joined the mayors that support the Paris Global Climate Accord. So when the president decided not to support it, we decided to stay in it. Yeah, let's give ourselves a round of applause. Menlo Park also continues to make strides as a leader in sustainability. And through the development of our zero waste plan to help guide the community in diverting landfill away from the landfill waste, we're going to reduce trash generation to 3.1 pounds per person per day. So if you think about that, right now, we generate more than that much. If you think about 3 pounds in your hand or 3 pounds, it's quite a bit, but we have a very strict goal that we're going to get down to 3.1 pounds per day per person and achieve at least a 73% diversion of waste. And that's a big goal, and we're going to meet it together. And Diane Bailey, I want you to, yeah, there you are. Maybe you can, all right. Maybe you can get that little fish bowl, and we'll do that in a little bit. Yeah, I'll call you up. Can you find? Yeah. And we're going to go on the sustainability theme, and then we're going to have that. In July, we voted to adopt a resolution for a vision of 100% renewable energy. Menlo Park is already on its way, thanks in part to Peninsula Clean Energy and strategic goals to source all of our energy from renewable power sources. So we have a very strong renewable energy program that we're going down. We also, when I went to the National League of Cities in Miami in May, and we signed on to the Bloomberg Mayor's Challenge. And that's something that Diane Bailey from Menlo Park is helping tremendously with. And we have some photos that scrolled through when we did a big seminar on what we're going to do. And we're going to actually enter this program. It's a competition. We're going to get an application in, and we're going to win a bunch of money to scale a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. And we're going to show how we're going to do it at Menlo Park, and we're going to scale it across the country with the help of Menlo Park. In May, my colleagues and I also committed to making all of our parks herbicide-free. Right? No more herbicide. And that was very expensive. It really was. Remember that, Peter? But we said this is important, and we did it. And so now when you go to the parks in Menlo Park, there will be it's all herbicide-free for your enjoyment, for your kids' enjoyment, for your pets, for everybody. So it's kind of loud in the back, and I promise I'll finish soon. As you can see from the photos, we've planted trees for Arbor Day. We've had Earth Day cleanups. We've done so many things, it's hard to imagine, actually. The year's been so busy. We have a Menlo Park Grants for the Arts, and the Grant for the Arts is very important, and there's a slide here that shows all the Menlo Park organizations that got grants from the city this year to promote art, because art is very important in this town. And we also, our Library Foundation, I've sent some members here from the Library Foundation. They've been supported by our art program too. And then another interesting thing, another first for Menlo Park, where's our police chief? Chief Johnson, where are you? I can't see you. So Chief Johnson is in the house. And last year, there's a lot of turmoil in the world, if you've noticed. Yeah, you've noticed. And so one of the things is we always want to try and improve the relationship between our police force and the community. And so I went to Chief Johnson last year and talked to him about mindfulness training for our police. And the chief was a little skeptical maybe, but very open-minded. And he's fabulous. He is the best police chief. I don't know where he is, but he's a great police chief. And he went up to Oregon and he met with this gentleman, Richard Gerling, who teaches mindfulness to police officers. And the chief thought it was wonderful, loved it, and so now we are the first city in the entire nation to have all of our police force go through mindfulness training. So let's give them a round. I also hosted many community meetings with the chief this year, and there were some photos of that as well, where we went around the city, all across the city, to talk about crime prevention and hear from residents, hear from you about what you want for your community. I'm going to jump around to a couple things. John Arriaga, I want to say a big thank you to the philanthropist John Arriaga for being an amazing contributor to Menlo Park. I'm looking forward to the discussions that we'll have on the library system at the October 17th council meeting. We have a track record with Mr. Arriaga. All you have to do is go over to the campus and you can see all the things he did. The gymnastics center, the gymnasium, the community center. Then he said, you know what? I want to do all your landscaping too. So he did all the landscaping. And now he's come back and he said, you know what? I want to build your library too. And so I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Arriaga. Yeah. On another part of town, the Bedwell Bayfront Park Master Plan is wrapping up, and we'll have that coming back to our council soon, and that will guide the park for the next 25 years. And I know many of you care about Bedwell Bayfront Park, and there are some interesting and exciting opportunities for the park. But we'll keep it passive. I want to also commend, there were some slides that went by, Safe Space. Has anybody heard of Safe Space yet? Yeah? Some of you? Yeah, let's give Safe Space a round of applause, too. Safe Space had a grand opening. They're just up the street here, and it's for kids. It's for kids. It's for mental health, and we all care about the mental health of our children, and we want to make sure our children are safe and that they have a safe place to speak, and that they're never alone. They're never alone, and they always have somebody that they can go to. Well, Safe Space is that place in Menlo Park. And they opened September 16th, and it's really important that our community know about them as an amazing resource for kids. They're actually helping youth 12 to 26, and they are driven by the students. So students from all high schools here. It's a collaborative effort. I want to thank Susan Bird. She's one of the co-founders of it, but it is student-driven, and they're doing a fantastic job, and they want to save lives. That's the point. Make our kids feel like they're loved and they're precious, and that everything they do matters, and that they're never alone. Yeah. There's so much more. We welcome friends from Japan. We are protecting our community from flooding with the San Francisco Creek Joint Powers Authority. I see Len Matterman, our executive director. Thank you, Len. There are some photos up here that scroll through. For East Palo Alto, we've done the project from the Bay to Highway 101. And there was some serious flooding, very serious flooding, that happened in 1998. And here we are. I was pregnant with my baby, who's now 19 years old. That's how I gauged this flooding project. She's in college. But thanks to the help of Len Matterman, our executive director, and Ruben Abrica, who's on that board with me, We've been able to secure the funding. You know, this was a tough project. We were working with the Army Corps of Engineers, and that was going to take 30 years. I know, you know, it just was. And so we went out and we had to figure out how to get the funding together. And lo and behold, a lot of East Palo Alto residents are going to be safer now, right now, because we got most of the flood walls in. There's a few more we'll put in, but most of the flood walls are in. And if we have flooding this season, we've got a lot more protection than we've ever had before. But there's a lot of work to do. There's still a lot of work to do. The next phase is a community phase that we'll be engaging with our Menlo Park residents, because it's going to go from Highway 101 up to the Pope Chaucer Bridge. That's our next phase, and there's some slides on that too. And I hope all of you, I see a lot of my Willows neighbors here who live near the creek and will want to be engaged in this. And yeah, well, the creek goes all the way. I see Tim Ryan. You know, the creek goes all the way up to the hills. So I know I should close, and I will. I want to just say, Menlo Park financially, AAA bond rating. Yay! Award-winning finance and budget team, balanced budget. Every year I've been on council with my colleagues, Peter Otaki, Rich Klein. We were all elected together. We've had a balanced budget every single year, plus a surplus. And once again, we're in that same position. And as you all know, this is a red-hot real estate market. Everybody knows that. Yeah, and so things are booming right now, and you know, we can be thankful we all have each other. I know it won't last forever because we know cycles come and go, but this is an amazing time to be here. It really is. So in closing, I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to be the mayor of Menlo Park. It has meant so much to me. My heart is here. To our community members, I thank you. Your participation and your passion energizes us and serves us and calls us to action. And that's why I know that in working together, we cannot fail. We will only win working together. Our strength lies in you, and we are listening to you. We're working together, and we can make our future even brighter than our past. I've been so honored to work with great council members, a supportive, talented council, and with professional city staff that have led to this wonderful place where we are, and to our very accomplished city manager, Alex McIntyre. And as the Menlo Park Historical Association says, our city has continued to grow in many ways to fit the needs of a progressive community, yet it looks back with pride at its past, at its beginnings. So thank you for being here, and I'm truly excited for the future. Thanks, everybody. Now, speaking of the future, Diane Bailey, did you get that fishbowl? I might ask staff or somebody. We're promoting, thank you, darling. Oh, we already have a winner. Okay, so Diane Bailey from Menlo Park. Let's all give her a round of applause. Van, do you want to talk about the Seagull Stream?
Hi there, I'll be real quick. My name's Diane. I'm director of Menlo Park. We're a local environmental group working towards a zero-carbon, climate-neutral future that's very sustainable for Menlo Park. And our co-founder who started it all is right there, Mitch Slomiak. Give him a high five if you see him. How many of you guys know that Menlo Park adopted a zero-waste plan last month? All of you know. Yay. It's a huge step towards our sustainable future. We want to support that. We want to help businesses and multifamily developments, apartments, condo buildings, do the right thing and help their tenants recycle and turn in their organic waste, separate, and put as little in the waste in the landfills as we can. We have a voucher for free little separated recycling bins right here. They're beautiful. You can choose your stylish one. And this goes to Diane Bautista from Lucille Packard. Okay.
Great, and so we mean it. We're trying to save this planet, and we're working together to do so. I want to close also, it's our 90th birthday for Menlo Park. And we have this beautiful birthday cake. And if you wouldn't mind, I'd love to sing Happy Birthday to Menlo Park with you. Thanks, everybody. Have fun and mingle and hang out with us. I'd love to chat with you now.